I've got nice coffee, the MILF shirt is on, you're balanced on a water filter. Let's fucking talk about some books. My previous video was also a haul. This is gonna be a haul too. Brace yourselves, and it's completely book-centric. I go to work, I sell the books, I come home, I read the books. I've also come to find out that I'm quite a harsh marker. I haven't given anything more than 4 stars since I started giving things a rating, which was at the start of last year. Before we even get into the haul, follow me on Goodreads, because that's where I will give my honest, true, and totally correct opinions. Any deviation from what I think is incorrect. It's false. Sorry, deal with it. Because, as you may know, I now work in the biggest bookshop in Europe. I'm constantly surrounded by temptation. It is very hard work for me to get my wages out of the door. I've practiced great restraint since I started working there in November. Essentially, my rule was I'm not allowed to buy myself new books until I finish my current to be read pile. I will just caveat that by saying I have another to read pile back home that I can't read at the moment because it's in a different county. So I have been restrained. I'm just going to show you the books I've bought, and this is going to be its own video because I want to talk about them. So there. On Tuesday of this week, I was finally permitting myself to buy more books because I finished my to be read pile. So I went nuts. I went ham. I've been at work all day today talking about books, and now I'm gonna rant and rave some more. I'm gonna start with the 2 hardbacks. Hardbacks are a big commitment, even with my fairly hefty staff discount. So I found the Instagram accounts of these 2 authors and I DM'd them and I said, please send me a copy of your book so that I can sell it to people. I got a copy of Instructions for Heartbreak by Sarah Handyside. I also got The Lamb by Lucy Rose, which is different to anything I would ever read. It's pretty gory from start to finish. I will just read you the first sentence because that's a good indicator for the tone of the entire book. On my 4th birthday, I plucked 6 severed fingers from the shower drain. And it continues as such. I really enjoyed it. It's more than just a book about cannibalism and severed fingers. It's a book about motherhood and the relationships between mothers and daughters. I know I'm taking the piss, but that's also the truth. And I really, really enjoyed it. Gory, a bit gross, made me feel a bit ill at points, but in like a good way. I also have another book en route to me. It's called Hero, and it's by someone called Katie Buckley. A lot of my colleagues have been singing its praises, so I'm excited for that to arrive. Anyway, moving on. More books, more books, more books, more books. I'm now going to tell you the book that I have just finished reading, and I'm going to go into some detail about it because I feel like we need to talk about this. And I did talk about this with a customer at work today who was wearing a really fucking cool cardigan, and we had a long chat and I made friends. I felt like, dare I say, I made friends today, guys. I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I bought this as part of my Tuesday haul, and it's sort of been really, really big on TikTok for the last like 6 months. Also, it's to the extent that I kind of was under the impression that it was new. It is not. This was published in the 90s, I believe. 40 women are in an underground bunker in a cage. They don't really remember what came before that, but they know that they were taken from their homes. And they're put in this cage, and there are no dudes. Sounds pretty sweet to me. From the perspective of the youngest person in the cage, who was really small when she got put in the cage and doesn't know anything other than cage life. It's called I Who Have Never Known Men because she never has to speak to a man. Sort of everyone's talking about it on TikTok, and I wanted to know why, because I was getting FOMO. I was getting book FOMO or BOMO. I gave it 3 stars, which for me is like, it's a good book. It's a good book and I can competently recommend it. However, I think it's been overhyped. Dare I say it? I think it's been overhyped. I think everyone needs to relax. I'm happy that it's having its moment. Sure. I don't think it's anything like special. Maybe I was expecting too much, but I just was reading it being like, yeah, okay, it's a good dystopia book. It's got a really good plot. I find it funny at points. I like this. It's good. Is it anything particularly remarkable? No. 3 stars. Decent. Not outstanding. I'll now tell you the book that I'm currently reading. Normal Women by Ainsley Hogarth. Obviously, everything in this video is going to be flipped, so just fucking deal with it. I am just under 100 pages into this, and from like page 1 I was like, this is a 4-star book. And for me, I haven't given anything more than 4 stars, so to know that from page 1, by the end of the book it might be a 4.5 star. Dare I say it? I might take that back in 2 days when I finish this. It was making me laugh from the first page. There was a quote on page 29 which has stuck with me. So the central character is called Danny, her husband is called Clark, and their daughter is called Lottie. Danny would never fish for a compliment though, the way that Clark did about the goddamn driveway, the way a child would. She would be passive aggressive instead, like a fucking adult. I don't know why, but that really made me chuckle. Obviously I'm not done with it yet, so maybe it'll go downhill, maybe it'll go uphill. Let's hope for that. So I read 10 books in January, 10 books in February. It's now March the 7th. I'm on book 24, so 4 books into March, maybe? I don't know. The maths is not entirely at the front of my brain. And I'm currently averaging at 1 4-star book a month. Of January, the 4-star book was Penance by Eliza Clark. February was Sunstruck by William Rayford Hunter. Maybe this will be March's 4-star, or maybe I'll get multiple 4 stars in March. Maybe this will be 4.5 stars. If it got 5 stars, it would have to be better than A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, which is not likely. Let's move on to the books that I have recently accumulated that I haven't started yet. I've got this book. It's called The Bitter Water of the Lake. It's a proof copy. I don't know if it's out yet. No, it comes out in August 2025. So if you're watching this in August 2025, guys, this book might be really good. I don't know yet because I haven't read it. I read the blurb of this and I just like the sound of it. So I nabbed it because it was free and it was in the staff room, and we've got a big pile of books that you can just sort of pilfer. Sidebar 2025, bring back pilfering. We're getting onto the meat because these are the books that I have bought. The Dud Avocado by Elaine Dundee, as you can see, is a gorgeous book, and she matches my cover of Heartburn by Nora Ephron, which has the same sort of diamond pattern. I'm just now realizing that these are the little martini glasses. That didn't register in my brain until this exact moment. I'll read you the blurb. What a treat. Sally J. Gorsey is a young woman hell-bent on living. It's the 1950s and she's an American in Paris. Witty, headstrong and disaster-prone, she dyes her hair pink and prowls the left bank in search of love, adventure and fame. Will our heroine be forced back to the States to fulfill her destiny as a librarian, or can she keep up her whirlwind Parisian existence? And it has the other copies of the books that match this in the front, and that's what my cover of Heartburn looks like. Pretty book, pretty book. Haven't read it yet, can't tell you if it's any good. Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. I read She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark at the end of 2024 and I really enjoyed it. It's a collection of short stories. One of them is called The King and I was literally laughing out loud. Very good, very nice. I then read Penance in January. It's still my top rated book of 2025 so far. In February, myself and one of my colleagues ran a bookseller-led book club for She's Always Hungry, where we had a selection of pink and red snacks and treats because the book is pink and red. Boy Parts is Eliza Clark's first book and it's the only one I didn't have, so I was like, fucking let's do this then. Because a lot of people have said if you liked Penance, you'll like Boy Parts even more. Maybe this will be a 4-star too, maybe it'll be 4.5, who knows? I certainly fucking don't, because I haven't read it yet. This one I bought secondhand on Amazon. It's A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. I chose it partly because of the books on my to buy list. It was the only one I could get cheaper on Amazon secondhand than if I got it first hand with my staff discount at work. Does that make sense? I bought it because a boy I was seeing previously as it's his favourite book. Now, I want him to be wrong. I want him to be wrong. I want this book to be bad so I can hate it. I don't think I'm really seeing him anymore, but I want to see what the fucking book is all about. The last book that I bought is Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. I read The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides in August when I was in Edinburgh, and I was distinctly underwhelmed. I believe I gave it a 2 stars. I can see why people like it, and I can see why it's sort of becoming in the modern classic canon. I was getting irritated by the fact that The Virgin Suicides is from the perspective of the boys across the road who sort of just have to use conjecture about the girls that they're talking about who are killing themselves. I don't care what the boys think. I don't want to hear from the boys. I don't care about the boys. These boys also aren't in the house. They don't know fucking anything. These boys are dumb. I then got into conversation with a customer and we had a really lovely long chat, and she was like, you would like Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. And I went, oh, but I really didn't like Virgin Suicides. She was like, that's a good thing, because if you didn't like Virgin Suicides, you will like Middlesex. And I was like, okay, fine. This is a person I'm never gonna see or speak to again. But I'm reading a book that she suggested, and it won the Pulitzer for fucking fiction, which is pretty nifty if you ask me. It has elements of ancient Greece about it, which also excites me, because if you know me, you know I love me some Greece. I love me some Greece, especially when it's ancient. Lots of books to be read and lots of fun to be had. I really like books, you guys. I need to have something to fucking eat. I'm gonna have some chicken dippers with potato waffles and beans and carrots, probably. And it's gonna be delightful. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And if you've not enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Anyway, I've got some reading to do, you guys. Ooh, eek. Love you, bye. Sorry, post-credit scene. Today at work, I was behind the till and my colleague Ali was serving someone and they just went, "Hi, I'm Susanna Dunn. I wrote Levitation for Beginners." And me from 3 tills away, I gasped so loudly it caused a minor earthquake because I love Levitation for Beginners. Such a good book. And I've been hand selling the living shit out of it for weeks to finally meet the author. Fucking awesome. And she was lovely and we had a really long and lovely conversation and I took a photo with her and I'm gonna put the photo here because I'm pretty happy with this. I've met a handful of now cool people and one odd person whilst at work. Michael Gove, I'm looking at you. Yeah, to meet authors that like you really admire and really like passionately are selling their shit is like so nice and it's really rewarding to be able to talk about it. And she was like, "What drew you to the book?" And it's so nice that you're like a young person who's read this. I got to give her the spiel that I've been giving customers for weeks. Anyway, post credits is done now. I'm done talking. No more talking 2025.